What's good, Raider Nation? Victor here, and I'm telling you right now, this might be one of the most emotional and important off-seasons in Raiders history. Because while the face of our defense is out here saying Vegas is home, the entire NFL is buzzing about whether he's actually on his way out. And at the same time, the Raiders are being linked to one of the most explosive wide receivers in football, a guy who just put up over 1,300 receiving yards and is about to command more than $120 million on the open market. Yeah, things are getting real in Las Vegas. Let's start with the defensive leader. Our superstar edge rusher has been doing national interviews in Raiders gear, straight from the team facility, saying this city is where his life is built. House, family, everything. But here's the part Raider Nation can't ignore. He never actually denied wanting out. And when one of the most plugged-in insiders in the NFL says this man is frustrated with the rebuild and doesn't want to go through another reset, that's not noise. That's usually how big trades start. This is a dude who's averaged nearly 90 pressures a season, consistently ranks top 5 among edge rushers, and literally carries this defense on his back. When a player like that starts sending mixed signals, the league listens. Now flip to the offense, because help might finally be coming. Reports have the Raiders as one of the top teams in position to land a true number 1 wide receiver in free agency. We're talking about a deep ball monster averaging 16 yards per catch, top 3 in the NFL in receiving yards this season, and the exact type of weapon this offense has been missing. With over $100 million in cap space, the Raiders can absolutely afford to make a blockbuster move and pair a dominant receiver with Brock Bowers to finally give this offense some real firepower. But of course, Raider fans know the history. Big-name wideouts haven't always worked out in silver and black. So the question becomes, is this finally the one that changes everything or another risky gamble in Vegas? So today we're breaking it all down, what the defensive superstar's comments really mean, why the trade rumors aren't just media nonsense, and whether spending $120+ million on a star receiver is the right move for this rebuild. But before we dive in, you already know what to do. Smash that like button if you bleed silver and black. And only subscribe to Raiders Nation Update if you're a real fan who believes this team is about to turn things around. Help us hit 1,500 subscribers. Alright Raider Nation, let's talk about the future of this franchise.
Raider Nation, this saga just took a major turn because the Maxx Crosby situation just got real. After days of trade rumors, insider reports, and social media chaos, Maxx Crosby finally broke his silence. And while he didn't fully deny the trade talk, what he said about Las Vegas might surprise you. Today, we're breaking down Crosby's own words, what's really going on behind the scenes, and whether this star defender is actually on his way out, or if Raider Nation needs to breathe again. But before we jump in, smash that like button if Maxx Crosby is the heart of this defense, hit subscribe if you ride with Raiders Nation Update, and help us hit 1,500 subscribers. Let's grow this Raider family. Let's get into it. Maxx X. Crosby, Vegas is my home. So, Crosby went on multiple national shows this week, NFL Network, Colin Cowherd, and made something very clear. He showed up wearing Raiders gear, broadcasting from the team facility. And he said this: "I just built my dream house before the season and got to move in. My life is established out here. I've got my wife, my daughter, my people out here. Vegas is my home. I'll be in this crib the next 15 or 20 years. Now, Raider Nation. That doesn't sound like someone packing their bags tomorrow. That sounds like a man who loves this city and this team. But here's the part that keeps the rumors alive. Here's the tricky part. Crosby pushed back against people speaking for him, but he never actually said the reports were false. He didn't say, "I'm not asking for a trade." He just said, "People are creating narratives." And that's important, because when insiders like Jay Glazer, and who is literally his close friend and training partner, say Crosby is frustrated and wants out, that doesn't come out of nowhere. The Vrabel connection. Then there's another bomb. NFL insider Diana Rossini said Crosby has a ton of respect for Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel and would like to play for him. And once that came out, players around the league started being asked, "Would you want Maxx Crosby on your team?" That's how real this has gotten. This isn't just fan speculation anymore. This is league-wide conversation. The real breaking point, being shut down now. Crosby finally explained what really happened with that late-season shutdown. Yes, he was angry, but he says he didn't storm out or blow up like some reports claimed. He said he calmly told the team he needed to go home and didn't want to be a distraction. But make no mistake, he was upset that the Raiders shut him down instead of letting him play. Remember, the Raiders were chasing the no. 1 overall pick in the 2026 draft. Crosby is built to compete, not tank, and that philosophical clash clearly hurt. Why this is such a big deal? Let's remember who Maxx Crosby is. One of the NFL's top edge rushers, consistently top in pressures and sacks, plays nearly every snap, 5-time Pro Bowler. He is the identity of this defense. When stars like this start feeling disconnected from rebuilds, that's when trades happen. So what does this really mean? Here's my honest Raider fan take. I truly believe Max loves Vegas. I believe he wants to be a Raider. But I also believe he's tired of losing. Those two things can exist at the same time. If the Raiders convince him this rebuild will be quick and serious, he probably stays. If it drags on, that trade door gets wider and wider, what he's doing right now. While all this chaos is happening, Crosby says he's rehabbing every day. In the building before 6 a.m., training hard, getting ready for next season. The man is still locked in. The only question is, locked in as a Raider, or somewhere else. Now, Raider Nation, let's talk. Do you believe Maxx Crosby stays in Vegas? Or is this the beginning of a trade? Was shutting him down the moment everything changed? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear real Raider opinions. Raider Nation, imagine waking up next season with a true #1 wide receiver in silver and black. Not a project, not a role player, a legit superstar playmaker. Because right now, the Raiders are being named as one of the favorites to land a wide receiver projected to make over $122 million. Yeah, you heard that right. Today we're breaking down who this receiver is, why the Raiders are a top landing spot, what this would mean for Brock Bowers and the offense, and whether this move would finally fix the passing game. But before we get into it, smash that like button for Raider Nation, hit subscribe to Raiders Nation Update, and help us reach 1,500 subscribers. We're building something special here. Let's go! The Raiders' passing game is broken. Let's be real, Raider Nation. This season has been rough. Even though the offense showed a little life against Houston in Week 16, the Raiders are still the lowest scoring offense in the entire NFL. Dead last. And the biggest reason? No real wide receiver talent. The passing game is basically Brock Bowers carrying the whole offense, Trey Tucker doing what he can, young rookies still developing. That's not enough in today's NFL. You need a dominant outside receiver who scares defenses. Enter George Pickens, a real WR1. Now here's where things get interesting. Cowboys wide receiver George Pickens is having the best season of his career. 1,342 receiving yards, third in the NFL, averaging 16 yards per catch. Pure deep threat, constant big play machine. This man stretches the field in ways the Raiders simply cannot right now. And Bleacher Report says the Raiders are one of the best fits for him. Why? Because right now, Trey Tucker is more of a WR3 on most teams. The rookies are still raw, and Brock Bowers needs help, badly. Pickens would instantly become the alpha receiver in this offense. Can the Raiders afford him? Oh yeah! Here's the crazy part. The Raiders are projected to have around $105 million in cap space, second most in the entire NFL. That's massive. And Pickens' market value? Spot rack projects. 4 years, 122s, $9 million, about $30. $7 million per year. That puts him among the top 10 highest paid receivers in football. But guess what? The Raiders can easily afford it. How this changes the offense. Now, imagine this combo. George Pickens stretching defenses deep. Brock Bowers dominating underneath Trey Tucker in space. Run game facing lighter boxes, defenses would finally have to pick their poison. Right now, they just stack the box and double Bowers. This signing alone could fix half the offense. But Raiders fans, here's the real concern. And this is where we gotta be honest. Pickens has had attitude issues. He had problems in Pittsburgh, some moments in Dallas too. And Raiders history with star receivers? Antonio Brown disaster Randy Moss, Aerodrama Devontae Adams ending ugly. We do not have a great track record here. Talent-wise, Pickens is absolutely worth it. Personality-wise, that's the gamble, especially in Las Vegas. My real take as a Raider fan. If Pickens stays locked in and focused, this is a home run signing, like franchise changing. But the Raiders must do their homework, because paying $122 million to the wrong personality can destroy a locker room fast. This is a move that could save the offense, or blow up in our faces. No in between. Now Raider Nation, I need to hear from you. Would you sign George Pickens for $122 million? Is he the WR1 this team desperately needs? Or are the red flags too scary? Drop your takes in the comments. And don't forget, like the video, subscribe to Raiders Nation Update. Help us hit the 500 subscribers. We're bringing real Raiders talk every single day. Raider Nation forever. Just win, baby.